All right, welcome to our session today. We're going to continue from where we left over doing mergers and acquisitions. Right, our classes, we're going to have a class on Sunday. I think I sent you a message. We'll have a class in the morning from around 8 to 12. I wanted to do it tomorrow, but unfortunately, there are some things that are happening. I couldn't make it for tomorrow. So we'll do 8 to 12. For those who will not be there, we'll make a recording. The 8 to 12 will not be the continuation, will not be a continuation from this one. The Sunday one, I will try to mix the concepts so that we try to review everything that we might expect you to write in your exams. So it will just be an overview of almost everything, especially the important areas. Of course, we can't do everything. So it will be sort of a revision like. Then next week, I can meet you on Friday. I will see if I can be able to, because I don't know, I don't want to meet people a day before the exam. So if I, because there's one area that I wanted us to also look at. So if I sufficiently look at it on Sunday, I might leave that Friday class out. It will only be open for those who would like to ask questions. But if I manage, I can shuffle one of my classes maybe earlier, which is done earlier, so that you can do earlier your class. Then the Saturday, Friday we will not meet because I don't want to meet you a day before. So that means we have class today. The guaranteed classes are today and Sunday. The midweek one is subject to confirmation. But I honestly I can't meet you on a Friday. Right. So now let's go on with what we were doing. Right. We did this question 1. We did question 2. Right. So we now want to deal with question 3. Want to deal with question 3 because I don't know if we'll finish question 3, but we also need to do the there's a method that I think it's not even there on question 3 that will come on question 4. So if we don't do it today, I will see how I incorporate it on Sunday, the price earnings method. Right. We've done the free cash flow. Maybe we need the net asset value and the price earnings, and right, I also need something to do with working capital. Right, MacBook Limited is a popular free social networking website that allows registered users to create profiles, upload photos and video, send messages, and keep in touch with friends, family, and colleagues. The site, which is available in 37 different languages, includes public features such as, right, I think those things you can read at your own time. So this background, I think there's nothing much. I don't think there's anything important that can affect our answer. There's nothing there. I will just take you to where we want so that we save on time. Calculate the present value of all the specific synergies between M and WC, net of associated costs. When they say calculate the present value of all specific synergies, remember in our previous classes, we talked about what are synergies. Synergies are the benefits that will arise if the two companies come together. So you have to check those benefits. So some of those benefits will be in future value terms. So you have to discount them using the weighted average cost of capital to their present day value. Right. So let's go and see what is happening between the M and WC. Right. Remember that our company is M. Right. So let's go and see the background to WC so that we can be able to get the picture of what is happening. So we'll come here. Over the past year, the value of M shares has more than doubled. It has recently made a bid for what's chat WC. WC has more than 450 million monthly users and is popular with people looking to avoid text messaging charges. If successful, it will be the social networking giant's largest acquisition to date. In a statement announcing the proposed deal, M's founder Mark Book described WC services as incredibly valuable. So that means M, they are attempting to take over WC, which has got more than 450 million subscribers. Okay, that is not important actually. But the important thing is M are considering making a bid for, they made a bid for WC. Right, WC allows users to send messages over internet connections. Okay, that is not important. Right, what is important is here the bid offer is 1 share in M for every 4 shares held in WC. So that means for these guys, for every 4 shares that they have, we'll give them 1 share in our company. Right. These are the financial statements of what MacBook and WhatsChat. Right. M expects that the following synergies and related costs will flow from the transaction. That's where our answer is. Remember, the answer to the question says, determine the present value of the specific synergies net of related costs. So these are the synergies that are going to arise. So we have to find their present value. Right. Let's read. Some land and buildings of WC would be sold for 1 million after taxation and do not need to be replaced. The combined entity will have sufficient office space. So that means there will be money that will arise from the deal. If we purchase them, we'll sell the land and buildings and get a cool 1 million. Annual post-taxation wage savings at current prices, that means currently, are expected to be 750,000, while future wages increases are expected to double the inflation rate for next year and equal to inflation for the following years. So that means next year there will be double inflation, and from year 2, the increase will be equal to inflation. Then you have to go and look for the inflation. Let's see what is the inflation. Current rate of inflation is 5% and is expected to remain at approximately this level in the foreseeable future. So what they are saying is that the wages will increase at 10% next year in year 1. Then in year 2, they will increase by 5%. Right. Then fixed advertising and the distribution cost savings of 200,000 before taxation would apply for next year and for each year thereafter. So the fixed advertising costs, they are 200,000. They are saying that they will apply for next year and each of the year thereafter. Right. So these ones normally would just expect that they will just increase by inflation rate. Legal and other acquisition related costs, like here we're told here, unless otherwise mentioned, all fixed expenses are expected to grow by inflation only. So that means these ones will grow by 5% throughout. Right. Then legal and other acquisition related costs at present value, they are already at present value, expected to amount to 2.5 million. Right. Now let's do the calculation of the question 2. Calculation of present value of specific synergies net of related costs. So dear VA, I don't think I need year 3, so I'll just year 2, right? Right. The item that made me to go to year 1 is this one here. Why? Its growth rate in year 1 and in year 2 are different. So we cannot just calculate the present value in today's terms. So for that one, that's why I had year 1 and year 2. Sorry, year 0 and year 1. But otherwise, if growth of the wages was constant throughout, remember that we can, as long as we know there's a constant growth rate, we can find the present value using Gordon's dividend growth model. But because there is 10% in year 1 and then 5%, it becomes constant in year 2. So then that means the terminal value I can only calculate in year 2. That's why I've put year 0 and year 1. After year 1, there will be constant growth. So there's no need for me to have year 2. Right. So we'll start with the land and buildings. Sale of land and buildings. They will have to be sold. Right. And this is after taxation. You should be very careful. If it's before taxation, that means you have to take the tax into account. So we'll have the sale of land and buildings. It's 1 million. Right. It's money. If it's money coming in, it's a plus. If it's money going out, it's a minus. Annual post-taxation wage savings. Mind you, these are post-taxation, so that's after tax, so we don't have to adjust for tax. And these are savings. That means if they measure, their wage bill is going to go down. Right, at current, that is today, it's 750. But it will increase, remember we said by 10% in year 1. Right, so we can say wage savings right in year 1 there will be 750,000 times 1.1. What do you get? What will you get?
825,000.
8 what?
825,000.
Thank you. Year 2 going forward, we can find the present value of year 2 going forward using the Gordon dividend growth model. Right, so we can say we know that it will now be growing at 5% at inflation only. So we can say 825,000 multiplied by what? Or maybe let me just give you the formula first. Cash flow 1, that is next year after the year that we're talking about, over the work minus the growth rate. Right, the work we're given here, that the work of WC has been estimated at what? 18%. And our growth rate, it will now be inflation. So that means it will now be 5%. So we'd say 825,000 divided by 0. Sorry, we have to multiply it by, remember that is cash flow by year 2, multiply by 1.05, it will increase by 5%, divided by 0.18 minus 0.05. What do you get? I'm waiting for you, my friend. Thank you. So that will be 6,663 462. So that will be our saving here. 4 million, 6 million, sorry. Right. So that will be your present value. So please, you should know that if the growth is from constant growth is from year 2 going forward, then you would put it under year 1, the year before it becomes constant. That present value will be under year 1. Right. Then the next thing, fix the advertising and distribution cost savings of 200,000 before taxation. Note that this is before taxation, but we should record our cash flows after taxation. So we should remember to multiply by 72%. And please, for this year, can you make sure that you are very careful in your exams, because our tax rate in most exams at your level, they are recording them at they are including them at 27%. So you should be very careful, my friends. Right. So we're going to say fix and So I'm just trying to open this question paper so that I can see what it's about when I'm not here. Advertising and distribution expenses. We use again Gordon. As long as we have got constant growth, that means we can apply Gordon. All right, this one is going to increase at 5% from the beginning. So that means we're given 200,000 multiplied by 72%. We multiply by 72% to find the after-tax value. In order for us to find the after-tax value, multiply by 72%. Then multiply by 1.05. Divided by 0.18 minus 0.05. What do we get? And this one we put under A1 because it's constant from the beginning. For wages, we're putting on A1 because they are going to first increase by a different rate, but the fixed advertising, they are increasing by the same amount throughout. No, this one was not supposed to grow it. I see something there. Because it's not current at the top here, because they said fixed advertising costs would apply for next year. So these are already for next year. There's no need to grow them. These ones were to, from the beginning, were to increase them because they were saying that they would increase. The one that were given was at current prices. So for this one, we don't have to multiply by the 1.05 at the top because it's already for next year. All right, what do we get? Right, thank you. 1,107,692. So that will be 1,107,692. Right. Then next, right. Then legal and other acquisition cost at present value, that means today, amount to 2.5 million. So leave legal and other acquisition, related costs. That is, these are costs, so we'll put them as a negative. Then, okay, that's it. Those are all the synergies. So we add them up. We get our net cash flow.
Should the fixed advertising and distribution be also a negative?
These are savings. That's why they are positive.
Okay.
If they are savings, that means they will reduce. So that will be a positive. Right. Right. Our work is 18%. Then what is our net present value? Can you use your financial calculator there to get our net present value? Can we please calculate using our financial calculators?
Is the 392,308 going to be the PMT?
What you do if you are using a financial calculator, you don't have to put a PMT there. When you clear your calculator, which calculator are you using?
The Sharp EL 738.
Right. When you clear have you cleared?
Yes.
Can you enter the negative 392,308?
Yes.
Then you say enter.
Yes, and then it becomes a zero, cash flow zero.
Yes, that's okay. Then you punch the 7488462.
Yes.
Enter.
Yes.
Then you punch your 18.
Yes.
Then that's your interest.
Okay.
Then you say second function.
Yes.
There's a button with the CFI. Is it cash
Yes.
or CFI? Yes, punch
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
Then what's on your screen?
It shows that rate of the 18.
Then down arrow.
Yes.
What do you have?
NPV underscore zero,
Yes.
must I say compute?
Then there's a compute.
It's 5953846.
595.
3846.
Right, that's it.
Thank you.
So this will be so that means by combining, these are the net present value of the advantages that will arise because of the combination. Any questions? Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next question, calculate the fair market value of WC. All right, the fair market value, it depends with what we are given for us to say this is the fair market value. Right. So let's read further. So that we can be able to get a guideline on what else are we given. Because normally, remember what we talked about last week? We said that we have got the maximum value. Then we also have the what? The minimum value. Right. So let's read and see if we have got anything there. Because there are many ways that we can be given the fair market value. We can be given the market price, then we multiply by the number of shares. Let me just see if we have got anything that we have. Right. I see something here. The price earnings ratio. Remember that the price earnings ratio. Hello? Okay. The price earnings ratio can help us to determine the market value. remember that a price earnings is the market price divided by the what? Divided by the earnings. Is that right? So it's the market price per share divided by the earnings per share. So if we utilize that, we can be able to get our market value. Right. So let's try to get our market value here. Let's first determine the number of shares. We are told that the share capital in this company is 150 cents per share. And we know that these guys are being given one share for every 4 shares. Right. The value of WC. Right. First of all, let's determine the number of shares. Because if we know the number of shares, then we can multiply it by the market price per share. Right. The number of shares, we can get them from here. And remember, these are in millions. So we can say 270 million divided by this, they are 150 cents each. So we have MacBook. We have 270 million divided by 150. What do we get? What do we get? Let's be fast so that we can finish some things there. Right, thank you. 180 million. Right. Then the AWC. $150 million divided by 150. 150 million divided by 150. What do we get? I think this one will get 100 million. That is straightforward. Right. So these are the number of shares. Right. Number of MacBook shares to be issued to the shareholders of WC. We are told that they've got 100 million shares, but we are told that they will be given one share for every 4 that they hold. One share that they for every share that they hold. So it will be, they hold 100 million, remember? So it's say 100 million multiplied by 1 divided by 4, which is equal to 25 million shares. So that means they will get 25 million shares in MacBook. Then we have to find out the price per share of MacBook. We know that market price is equal to earnings per share from our ratios times price multiple. Right. The earnings of MacBook, this 93. And we know that the number of shares are 180 and the earnings multiple, it's 20. So we can say 93 million divided by 180 million. Remember, MacBook has got 180 million shares. So to find the price per share, the earnings per share we divide by 180, then multiply by 20 the earnings multiple. What do we get? $10.33. That means each share that they are being given is worth 10.33, which means their fair value would be the number of shares that we are giving them, 25 million, times the price of those shares, which is 10.33. What do we get? Right. 25 million. $582. 258 million. 250,000. That would be the fair value. Right. Any questions? Right. Then the next question. Discuss when the payment methods of cash, shares, or cash should be used, and the benefits of using each particular method. Right. When you are buying a company, there are two ways in which you can buy them. You can either give them cash or you can give them shares. Those are the most common. Right. It depends on your objectives. For example, if control is a major issue, I'm not going to write anything here. I'm just going to discuss. If you are mainly concerned about control, you are not willing to take outsiders who might take over your company, then issuing shares would be a bad idea. It would rather be better to pay cash. So we can say, for you to issue shares, you issue shares when you have got a higher price earnings ratio than the target company. So when your PE ratio is higher, then you can also take the other company. Right. Then also, if you are not sure about the value of the company, you issue shares so that those guys can be there. So that if there's any problem, we can talk to them. That guys, you sold us this company, you are there, you are still our shareholders, you are here. Because if we give them cash and they go, they will not be accountable for anything. But if we have them, we can be able to take them to account. Then we can also use cash if we've got a lot of cash reserves. So sorry, shares. If we don't have cash, if we've got a problem with money, then it will be rather better to use shares. Right. Then when does cash become attractive? Cash, we use it when we have got excess cash. Let's say we've got excess cash in our company. If we've got excess cash, then we can be able to go for cash purchase. Then if we are worried about control, we can also go for cash so that we don't give these guys shares. And if we are confident with the success of that company, it's better we give them shares and then we remain with the company and then we get more money. Any questions there? Calculate the earnings per share of M following the successful takeover. Right. When we are talking about the after the successful takeover, if you want to get the earnings per share, remember earnings per share is the earnings divided by the number of shares. Earnings multiplied by the number of shares. Right. Right. So we know that their earnings, if they combine, they will now be adding these two. But on top of that, there will also be the synergy benefits, these savings that will happen on the expenses. The first one is the sale of land, we don't put it. The wages, there will be the fixed and administration costs. I think those two. These ones are legal. These ones will come in future. We are only talking about the expenses that are in the financial statements now. Right. Right. So would say of earnings per share. after takeoff. Right, what will be our earnings now? Right, we have got the earnings for MacBook. Which are 93 million. Then earnings WC, which are 21. Then we've got wage savings, which are right. When we're talking about earnings, remember that earnings they come from incomes minus expenses. So here it doesn't affect the day-to-day ongoing expenses, and this one does not affect the day-to-day ongoing expenses. That's why we're only focusing on these two synergy benefits. So after our question, we take into account the synergy benefits of the day-to-day expenses and incomes. Right, wagings are supposed to be saved by what? 750. That is at current prices. Remember, these ones are current 750. That is 0.75. Then fixed advertising and distribution. 200,000 before taxation. So let's say 200,000 applied by 0.72. What do we get? $144,000. Right. So then 1.144, we say 1.144. Remember, it's in millions. Right. Then the earnings would be right. Then we'll have our number of shares in the new company. Remember that a MacBook on its own, it had 100 million shares. It had 180 million. Then it's issuing 25 to the shareholders of WC. So it will now have 100 million plus 25 million. That will be the number of shares of the combined company. Right. So then our earnings per share $114,890,000 divided by 125 million. What do we get? 11.59. Is it 11? I think it should be 0 point something. Because the denominator is more than the numerator there. I think we should get 0 point something.
Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. 0.92.
One, 4.
But this is, oh, sorry. These shares are supposed to be 180 here. Can you also correct here? Remember, it's the shares in the new company, and the new company is not the shares in MacBook. They were 180 million, so they will add another 25. So that will be 205. Sorry about that. Can we do a recomputation here? So they will now be 205. Because remember that the company that will be there, it will not be WC. What do we get if we correct that? Zero point 0.56 per share, or we know that normally they express it in cents, 56 cents per share. That will be the combined earnings. Right. State what investigations that can be done. These ones you can just do them. Remember that you have to check what does the future hold for that company. Are the assets valued properly? Can there be a managerial fit? Those things that we talked about. Do they have any pending litigations that might result in contingent liabilities? The labor, the culture at the company, the integrity of the management, any advantages that they will bring in which have not been taken into account, all those things. Right. Then next they say what? Following a series of detailed tasks and negotiations between MC and WC, it has decided that the proposed takeover bid is not in the best interest of the WC. What are the 3 defensive tactics? Right, when you are targeted, there are many tactics that you can have. One of them can be asset stripping, whereby you can sell major assets, maybe to other companies, maybe that you control, to make the company unattractive. Right. You can also quickly find another buyer. And go into a merger with that buyer. Right. Do moves that can increase market price. Maybe you can quickly declare a dividend and promise another dividend very soon. Then your share price goes up, the value of a company goes up, and it becomes too expensive. Then you can put clauses in your memorandum of incorporation that can stop hostile takeovers. Then you can also negotiate with the shareholders to convince them that they should not sell their shares. Because remember that even if the company does not want, some shareholders can sell their companies to MacBook, their shares to MacBook. Right. Any questions? If we don't have any questions, then we'll continue on Sunday at 8 o'clock. Sunday we meet at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much and God bless you richly.